Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pathfinder Plays, and we are going to be answering the question of, is Dead Matter an open world survival game? Let's begin. So as you all know who have frequented my channel, I released a video talking about how the map is changing in Dead Matter. At first we thought it was going to be a very large, seamless map, but now we find out it's going to be separated into smaller maps. And there is a lot of speculation on how this is going to happen. What game is it going to be similar to? How will the loading work? Will you have to join multiple servers for different maps? Things like that. So I was going through the Discord and I found a very small discussion going on, and it will help shed a bit of light on what to expect until we get the roadmap in January. OC Hugs comes in and he says, seems quite shady that the developers let the community assume this game was open world. Would have mentioned something like 2 years ago when I gave you my money. And Americ says, it is open world. Holly Jolly Hank, who is probably tired of these conversations, has said, just check the pinned message. Responding to Americ, he asks, will there be loading screens between certain areas? Americ says no, there is between different maps though, which I assume that's what he was talking about. I'm not sure what other areas there would be, maybe like houses or caves perhaps, but it's good to know that only between the maps there will be no more loading within that actual map. So then he says, so multiple maps, multiple servers. Americ says, if you set your server up the correct way, you can use one server. So that kind of says that you can have all the maps on your same single server. That doesn't seem that bad to me, because my main worry was that, oh, okay, so it's kind of like DayZ, right? You would have to join one for Chernarus, exit out, join another one if you want to go to Livonia, exit out, and do that little dancing game. But now, with he's saying here, that's not necessary. You can do it all in the same server. Just choose the map. I like that. Gunslinger comes in and he says, the game is open world by definition, and the definition given here is open world video games are a type of video game where a player can roam freely through a virtual world and is given considerable freedom in choosing how or when to approach objectives. I would certainly say that this does fit still into, is Dead Matter an open world game? Yes, it is demonstrated here. Even with multiple maps, it's the same world. It's just different portions of the world, and it's still an open world because none of the maps are linear. They are open. You can do whatever you want in them within the realms and functionality of the game. OC Hug says, should have mentioned a long time ago. Holly Jolly Hank says, it's something that the team has been discussing for a while, just recently committed to. And I will say, I kind of agree with OC Hugs on this. The development team has been very transparent in terms of everything about the game. They update us about weapons, art, developers leaving and going, vehicles, every aspect of the game. They let us know what factions are in, what factions are out, what occupations are in, what occupations are out. All these things they let us know, and yet the one thing they don't let the community in on is a changing of the map, which, though this doesn't sound like a game-breaking feature, it is still a huge feature to swallow because people paid money for a big map, not multiple little maps. And though this may seem like a small, non-incidental issue for the developers perhaps, it's a big issue to the fans and the purchasers of the game. Because now, because there wasn't an open discussion about this, or a poll of some sort, or an open dialogue during the discussion explaining right when you guys knew that this was going to happen, or knew that this was a strong possibility, there's a bit of mistrust. There's a bit of mistrust and fragility to the community now. So I think it would have just been a safer bet just to discuss it right on whenever you knew it was going to happen and whenever you first started discussing it. It should have been a community thing, I think. And I know you guys wanted to wait till it was properly put together in a nice package for everybody to absorb. But apparently not everybody got that memo because it got leaked in the first place. So the whole thing was just kind of messy. It goes on, and Hank says each map is its own full-feature map. It's no different than the multiple maps in DayZ, Miscreated, or Ark. And that's very important because a lot of people compare it to Tarkov like Hugs here has, and Hank says no, the three are much better comparisons if you have to make one. So get it out of your mind that this is going to be like Tarkov. I know for a fact there's not any like hideout that you load back into. You still have to go explore the world, find a base and claim it. And other players can get to that. That's not how it is in Tarkov. DayZ, Miscreated, or Ark is similar to the way that this game will play out. And Hank does say right here, you don't extract to a hideout like Tarkov. OC Hug says, and if you transition from one map to another, is there a potential to be spawn camped? Gunslinger says straight up, spawn camping won't be a problem. That sounds pretty confident. He didn't leave any room in there for doubts or what ifs or scenarios. He seems absolutely 100% positive that spawn camping won't be a problem. Hank says that's something that will be taken into heavy consideration, as it should be, because it would be game breaking. He says that there are a lot of ways to handle it, which should be the case. There's a lot of ways to change from map to map that was explained to us in the previous video. So I would assume that there would be a lot of ways to handle that aspect as well. But it's interesting the two different responses here. Gunslinger says it won't be a problem at all, period. But Hank says that they'll be taking it into heavy consideration and that there's a lot of ways to handle it. So I'm kind of wondering, has it been handled? Because Gunslinger is putting forth a rather blunt statement here, as if it already has been taken care of, as if they have decided it. But Hank is talking as if they haven't really decided. And if they haven't really decided, you can't really say that a spawn camping won't be a problem because you don't know how you're going to handle it yet. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this video. Like I said, small conversation, small bit of information, but a very important bit of information that I really thought you guys should know about. I go on there and I search for any meaningful information that I think you guys should know about, whether it comes out early or whether it does not. If it's relevant to you guys, I share it. If you guys see anything on their Discord that you think people need to know about, go ahead, send me a message. I usually answer them, and we'll see where we go from there once I check it out. And guys, that is it. And if you guys like scares, survival, and scavenging, as always, consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell button, and I will see you all in the next one. Path out.